The Four Foodies, Part 4. Smells like onions, she said. Wait a second, said Bob. I think we all must have some sort of power. I can shoot tortillas. He was crying the whole time he said this. And Regina can shoot guacamole. But your power must be smelling like an onion. That's not a good power, said Gretchen. Oh, yes it is, said Bob. You can make me cry. You could make anybody cry and make their eyes hurt. And you could incapacitate any bad guy. Do you know what incapacitate means? No. It means make them so they can't do anything. Wow, said Gretchen. I guess I could. But please, please, please learn to control it, said Regina. I don't want you sweating like this every time we play a game or something. Said Gretchen. I guess maybe I can learn to control it, like you two. I'll have to experiment. But her power was different. She couldn't change the position of her hand or anything like that. So she had to experiment with her mind. So what she eventually figured out was that by the more onions she imagined in her mind, the more oniony her smell was, and the more it made people cry. Not what we're telling the story after. And hers turned out to be a pretty cool power, a pretty useful power, which we'll talk about next time. But as the three friends were walking home, they saw a car pull up. It was a black car, a big black car, and out of it came a man. And it was Dr. Gluten. And he was wearing all black with a red scarf. And he said, "Hello! What are you guys doing here? I thought my potion that I dropped would have hurt you." "Oh, you didn't hurt us at all," said Bob. "You gave us powers." "What?" he said. "I would never do such a thing." "Well, watch this," said Gretchen. Watch this, said Regina. And she went. Now, when she went like this with the form of a gun in her hand, the guacamole came out in bursts with lots of chunks in it. So bursts of avocado came shooting out of her hand. Splat, 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 all over Dr. Gluten. It was kind of like being hit by paintballs over and over again. "My black coat," he said. "Ow! Ooh! Ah! Oh!" And then she changed her hand and went like this to shoot the really thick kind of guacamole all over his face. And Bob went like this and shot a tortilla that hit his face and stuck to the guacamole. So now he had a face. He had guacamole stuck to his face and a tortilla on top, so it looked like he had a tortilla face. And then Regina did this with her hand to make some soft, smooth guacamole come out, and she drew a face on the tortilla on his face with guacamole. 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. "That'll teach you," said Regina. "Don't ever try and hurt us again." And they ran away. But as they ran, they heard him say, "You haven't heard the last of me." And that was their first time they used their powers. Well, Regina and Bob, at least, used their powers to fight Dr. Gluten. But you'll find out it was not the last. They ran, and as they ran, Gretchen focused her mind on not thinking about onions. And it's hard to not think about something on purpose. But she was able to do it, so she didn't smell at all, even though she worked up a sweat. In fact, she even smelled better than usual. Maybe I can use this power to smell good, she thought. But Stuart was a little bit confused, because all three of his friends now had magical powers, and he still didn't know what his was. So when
I think it's tomatoes. You
think it's to make what?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. We'll see. So when they got back to Regina's house, they sat down on the couch. But as soon as Stuart sat down, the whole couch turned to Jell-O. And that's the end of our story.